Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gentleman's Hour. We've actually missed quite a few, so we're back. Nice to
We
see you
are.
all. And today we're talking a little bit about secrets and, what secrets are you hiding from you? And I thought I'd talk a little bit about this because I'm caught up with a friend today, and basically he'd been keeping a secret like from his family for 20 years of his life, and he actually exposed it to his family and to some of his close friends and everything. And like he was just talking about the relief and the relaxation in his world from not having to hold on to this secret anymore. And it was kind of interesting because he just seemed so different and so much more like himself and happy to be himself. And it was really interesting. It was a big difference that I noticed. Yeah, and one of the things that I know about keeping secrets is, it takes a lot of energy to keep something secret.
That is, I have no idea because the biggest secret we had tonight was what we were even going to talk about. And about 2 minutes before we started tonight, you said, "Hey, secrets." But when you were just even talking about your friend then holding this secret for 20 years, and then when he told someone, like I said, I don't know this friend, I know nothing about it, but the space and just the lightness and almost that, which I felt then was phenomenal. So, more of that, please.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's as well one of the things that, like we tend to do this weird thing with ourselves where we try and keep something secret about ourselves to ourselves so that we don't have to expose it to anyone else. But I know that that's one of the most freeing things you can do is just to get bluntly honest with yourself and, expose whatever it is that's actually going on to yourself. And then you don't have to like hide from it anymore, and you don't have to like use all this energy to put it in a little compartment and sort of shove it out to the side. And yeah.
Oh, this is going to be great. So anyway, I was about to go, who's got any questions? And I was like, hang on, it's just me and you here tonight.
Yeah, well, there might be some people with some questions. We'll see what comes up. Let us know what you guys would like to. Simon, hello Simon. He's Simon. Mr. Fuchsie is here. Yeah, so yeah, if you're watching, let us know if you have any questions, comments, or you want to let us know about a secret that you want to expose or you've been hiding from yourself. What would you say, Mark, for you is like, how do you know if you've got a secret, something that you're keeping secret? Like, what's your or as someone else is keeping a secret, what are you sort of what are the giveaways?
Oh, look, I suppose if someone else is keeping a secret, you can always go back to that light and heavy tool. Some people explain it as that gut feeling when it's something which you just know isn't right or isn't true, or I guess when you're asking people that question or a question, if you think they are keeping a secret, you can always throw the word, and you don't have to say it out loud, truth, before you ask that question and see how their response is. But keeping,
That.
yeah,
Tool. That's one of the tools that Gary Douglas talks about as being one of the laws of the universe. And apparently there is more, but that's one that we know about. At least is if you say truth
exactly.
before you ask the question, you get to know whether it's true or whether it's a lie.
Yeah. I don't know if it's your internet or my internet, but you went straight into, you had like a strepsil talk then, your throat was all croaky and stuff like that. But maybe you're keeping a secret about...
All right, let me see if I can. I'll grab some earphones. You keep everyone company. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, Of course I will. I'll keep everyone company. I suppose when we talk about secrets too, and this is the gentleman's hour, saying that, it always reminds me of a little passage in the Return of the Gentleman book, which was, what if the biggest obstacle from, and this isn't word for word because I always bubble a few up, but what if the greatest obstacle from stopping, what if the biggest obstacle from stopping you being the greatness that you truly are is the fact you're pretending to be something you're not? So I suppose pretending to be something you're not could also mean, you know, what secrets are you keeping about yourself, which is preventing you from being the greatness which you truly could be if you were willing to acknowledge that. And I suppose lower the barriers, and you know, that word vulnerability, which we use a lot too, being vulnerable. And I suppose, you know, having that, being in that space, how Saul mentioned about his friend, and the energy which even I picked up from that, when you be vulnerable, when you're willing to expose the secret to yourself, which you know which you've hidden for all these years, how much space, how much lightness, and how much ease that can bring to you. And when I hear all those things, which I've just said, I get, well, and then what other cool stuff can you create in your life when you finally, you know, expose the secrets, drop those barriers, and I suppose be you, whatever that looks like. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's definitely what, you know, showed up, like having this conversation with my friend was just like this, yeah, there was this vulnerability that was there. And, you know, it's like way different to having a kind of like normal conversation that you would have with someone. And you can tell that it takes a little bit, like you were saying, you know, you've got to lower your walls and barriers, and you've got to get present with yourself, and you've got to also be willing to kind of let go of that image that you'd like to present of yourself or something, and just be, well, this is what it is, this is how it is, and kind of like, this is who I am. And yeah, so
Oh, now we've totally lost him. Anyway, back to me. So, whatever Saul was about to say then would have been absolutely amazing. But look, I suppose that's a question which everyone can ask themselves, and wherever you are in your life, whether you're just a young chap or young lady, or you think you've created the career and the life which you thought you were always going to, or the life which you are supposed to, I suppose. And there's always that opportunity. There's always that, I suppose, I don't know if it's a willingness, or there's always that time in everyone's life where they're like, you know what, this hasn't been working for me, whatever they've been choosing, and whether they've been choosing it, like I said, because that's what they're supposed to do, that's what they ought to do, that's how their family said they're supposed to. But when that time comes in your life where you're just like, this isn't working, what's new for me? I'm not going to live this charade anymore. Or, you know, yes, I'm just discussing with Saul on Skype. Sorry, guys. He'll be back in a second. And you choose the time to create this new life, to you know, stop wearing the persona which you thought you had to. And like we said earlier, how freeing, how much, you know, look, how much fun can that be? And just a relief on knowing that who you are is okay. And well, it's better than okay. It's fucking fantastic. And you know, how you're then willing to show up in the world. You know, how much joy that can give you. So I'm a little bit stuck here now on where to go with this. And I know we are on the Ask the Gentleman Facebook page, which we use. And if anyone's got any questions, you can type them in there. I can't even see who's on, so I can't even do any little shout outs to everyone, but I think he will be back in 1 second. Let me just see. No, coming on soon. So any questions, put them in there. If not, you know, what I suppose, what questions can you be asking yourself to, if that's something you're willing to be doing? Because I know, you know, it's not the easiest thing to, I suppose, expose yourself on where you've exposed, and not in that sort of way exposed, but oh, here he is.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. You did total Johnny on the spot there, and I
Yeah.
bumbled through a little bit. We haven't lost too many. Like I said, I can't see who's on or what questions, so that makes it a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
no, that's all good.
that's all right. So
sorry about that. My phone just died. So
that's okay.
yeah, what were you talking about? What were we talking about?
Mate, we were just talking about secrets, and I was just rambling through and just talking about in general how, I suppose, when you're at that time in your life, whether you're a young man, young lady, or you've, I suppose, built the family or the career or the persona on who you are, and when that just doesn't work for you anymore, you know, when the time has actually come to stop living whatever this secret is, and whether that's a big, total life-changing thing, or it could be just a few minor things, but you know, it's something which you've lived with, and you've you know, it's just time to change that, so whatever that looks like. So
yeah, and you know,
yeah.
I think sometimes like it's easy to look back and sort of like regret the things that we kind of kept from ourselves or from other people, but you know, I'd say as well, it's never too late to expose it to yourself and start to choose something different.
And that's exactly something which has been pinging in my world lately too. You know, a few different people I've crossed paths with, and you know, they're telling me their story and that sort of stuff. And a few times I've gone into that place, man, you know, I know I'm, you know, capable of doing that and greater, but for whatever reasons, you know, I haven't made those choices in my life. And I look back at now thinking, you know, 10, 20 years ago, how old am I? You know, where would I be today if I had gone down that road or made that other choice? But I suppose, man, that's that killer word again, judgment, which, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You are where you are today, and there's always the next choice can be made, and next possibility, just, you know, one choice away. So
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the future that you can create now based on your choices can be completely different if you want it to be, and not if you don't. But you know what it like, yeah, I guess that's the exciting thing, is you kind of get to sculpt it.
You do sculpt it. I like that. What about you, mate? Any little secrets, big secrets, I suppose, awarenesses in your world lately? I'm sure there's been none in the last 30 seconds other than my phone's gone flat.
I think just this actually, you know, having this conversation, it really gave me that, you know, like something that I've always desired to be more of, is that vulnerability, and that like it kind of I guess having this conversation, it sort of reminded me about that again, and the power of it and the potency of it, and that it's always been something that I've desired to have more of in my life. And I really know that like it does require a different choice, and not like just one choice, but in lots of different moments and at lots of different times. So yeah, I guess for me, just kind of like making that demand again of myself to be that, and it was just a really good reminder of like the what it can create when you are vulnerable, and you know, you're willing to be present, and yeah. So I didn't. It's kind of hard to talk about it, but like you said at the start, you know, you really sense the energy, the change that was available, and it's like that's really what I got from it as well, was this different space of possibilities that, you know, I hadn't really thought about for a while, and I hadn't really come across for a while. So it was very refreshing.
And I get, you know, going back to choosing in 10-second increments. I mean, choosing to live your life in that way, I suppose, if those choices can get you to those, I suppose, moments of space, moments of ease, and, you know, I don't know if the word's relaxation on what else is possible next, and you can create that, like, just build that momentum. I mean, how much are you going to create in your life? And to me, it's just, you know, I always ask for ease, and it doesn't always show up the way you think it will, and sometimes it doesn't show up. So I suppose, you know, there's another choice. But if you get to the place of choosing like that, and living your life in a continual, you know, one of those aha moments, like, how's it get any better than that? And that's what I'm going to be asking for. So
Yeah. And I think it also just, like, you know, it's very inspiring when someone is that vulnerability with you, you know. It's like, it really, yeah, I don't know, I think it puts lots of different things in perspective as well. And so I'm really, yeah, really grateful for that conversation and for this conversation. And yeah, I hope you guys out there are getting something out of this. And I would say as well, like, there's some great books to read where you can actually get, you know, a sense of some different tools you can use to actually, like, create, I guess, this a more intimate sort of space with yourself. I'd say the relationships, Are You Sure You Want One is a great one. And the what's the other relationship book that Gary and Dane wrote? Do you remember, Max? Did the
sex
audio for it?
sex isn't
No. Is it sex is not a four-letter word, but relationships oftentimes is? Or there's another one that he's done on, I can't remember it right now. But anyway, if you go to the Access Consciousness book store, you'll find some great books there, and actually gives you some practical, you know, tools and tips on how to actually have more of this in your life. So,
and if you read them, like they say, read them again, because you'll always have those aha moments. And, you know, I haven't been a big reader my entire life, but, you know, when I do pick up a book, and whether I have read it before or not, it is, you go back to it, it's like the first time you've read it again. So get into it.
Yeah. And I think on that note, we might leave you guys, and we'll see you next week. And let us know what topics you'd like us to cover, because we just make it up on the fly. But if there's something that you would really like to discuss or ask about or know about, let us know, and we'll be happy to take that topic on. So thank you, my friend, for.
And we may even have a guest next week too.
Yeah, we'll get our stuff a bit more organized and have someone, so you don't have to just listen to us do it.
Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Saul. My friend. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See ya.